Good evening, everybody. Matrix here, and here's my watch list for April 16th. Okay, stocks in play, stocks in play, stocks in play. Took me a while to make tonight's watch list because tonight's watch list is going to be a little bit more in depth. I'm going to also include my recap on my Disney trade this morning, explaining how I got in on a breakout today and my thinking behind it. So if you are not a big fan of long videos, you can feel free to watch this video in at a higher speed, playback speed. I usually watch my own videos back at 1.5 speed anyways. It just makes the process a little less time consuming. Anyways, let's go over the watch list real quick. Here we have the futures. We are gapping up ever so slightly. As you can see, the past few days, the SPY is just kind of holding around its highs, and it's making a very compact grind up. This morning we had a nice little deep pullback and then a nice higher low, and then the SPY recovered. We are getting into testing near the highs of the day once again. So by the time it gets here, does it break out or does it fail? Nobody really knows, right? But watching the SPY, watching the high of the past few days to see whether it breaks out. If it does, then we should get a nice magnet to the 291 area. So right now, let's mark off right here the 290.50s, which is high of today and yesterday, right? We are gapping up ever so slightly. So depending on what it does pre-market, right? If it's pre-market, if it gets above and starts holding, then it's going to be a long day. If it grinds a little bit underneath, we'll have to wait at the open, see if this stuffs and makes a pullback. If it does pull back, then I don't know. I don't know how far it pulls, right? Today it tested here the prior highs. I mean, this market follows these technical levels to a T, right? So it tested the lows right here, which is its prior highs. Now past resistance now becomes support. So it's gonna grind up tomorrow, gap up, and we'll have to see what it does from there. Let's go to the daily real quick. Now this candle, this is a very bullish candle here that we had today on the Monday. It dipped and got bought right back up. So just judging from this candle alone, I mean, it really does look like the SPY wants to test its all-time highs here around the 292, 293 area. But let's aim for 291 first, or the 291.50 area first, and we'll see what it does from there. Okay, so watch list. We are starting the earnings season, so the watch list is going to be very long for the next few weeks. Lots of plays. I really had to whittle it down. Initially in my notes, I had about 10 tickers. I took it down to 5. Let's go through with. Okay, let's start with Match, MTCH. Okay, so Match.com had, as you can see, I'm using the 1-minute chart, 30-minute chart, but we can change this to 5-minute. We'll swap back and forth here on the 5 to the 30 because lately I've been using the 30 and the 1-hour chart a lot lately just to keep myself a little longer in trades, filter out the noise here on the 1-minute candle. But and I do find that the 30-minute chart and the 1-minute chart candles, they follow key technical levels a little bit better than the 1-minute and the 5-minute. Like, it's just easier for the eyes, in my opinion. Anyways, Match, you don't see this today's candle here, but we did have a breakout. Okay, let's go to, well, because my broker is on server update right now. It's going to come back on at around 12:30, so in 10 minutes. But we'll just have to bear with me. We had a nice green day. Match basically tested the highs at 61 today, and it pulled back. So as you can see right here on this 5-minute chart, let's load up some drawings for you real quick. Match MTCH. Okay, so the reason why I picked Match is because it's very overextended, right? Today it ran on news. The catalyst was that Match.com had international leadership restructuring, okay? And because of this catalyst, the stock kind of shot up and started running. But to be quite honest, I mean, looking at this catalyst, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be able to upkeep this momentum, in my opinion. Like the news piece was kind of weak, and I think all the buyers who got in now, there was no buying afterwards, right? And I just don't see this piece of news as being fundamentally sound for the stock to have enough momentum to run the second day. It's very overextended, as I said already, and extended from the 9 EMA on the daily chart. And looking at this chart on this daily chart on Match, right? Every time it gets very overextended, it gets pulled right back down to the 9 EMA. And I am looking for a pull tomorrow. Now, let's go here to the 30-minute chart. Now, today it got bought up here, and then it topped out at around the 61.30 area. You'll see a different shade of red here for resistance at the 61, okay, which is actually key resistance on February 7th. So currently the stock is a little bit under the 60.50 area, okay. The 60.50 is resistance 1, as you can see on the 30-minute chart here and on the 5-minute. So 5-minute, you can see how it tested so many times, and then late day it failed. So we got some profit taking coming in. Now after hours, we got a few prints come back up, but we have a very nice downtrend. Okay, now until this stock comes under 60 and starts holding, I don't want to go in heavy on the short just of yet, but I do like for it to cover pop and fail, because like I said before, I don't see this news catalyst as a momentum carrying catalyst. And as you can see during the day, around noon or around 1 o'clock, people already started selling it, topped out, and then it made a nice lower high. We're forming a nice downtrend. We had the basketball effect, and then late day it just fell through, right? Now, $60, very key level right here, okay, on March 21st. And then from there, we'll have to see what it does at the 60. Okay, I am expecting a cover pop though. If it doesn't go down pre-market under 60, then I think these short sellers going to cover and take some profits, causing cover pop, probably right back up into this trend line here. This resistance number 2 is $60.80. As you can see, if I draw this horizontal line across, you see how it failed a few times over here. You'll see it more evidently on the 30-minute chart. Okay, so right here, the $60.80. We had massive volume at noon, and it topped out over here, and then it just did the over-under from the 60.80, right? And then, of course, we have the $61 key psychological whole number. The downtrend does meet the $60.80 area, so coming back up into this downtrend, we'll see what it does from there. From 61, if it holds about 61, then we should see more momentum coming in. Buyers would come in and start buying this again, or the short sellers from early today would be covering and causing a squeeze, and the stock may run a little bit more, but I highly, highly doubt it. So my plan on it is to wait for a cover pop into preferably 61, but if it starts rejecting at $60.80, I'll start in on a starter size from here and give it some wiggle room, because this is ideally just only 50 cents, right? So a start in the starter size, and then watch for the lower high or double top, and then once that confirms, then I'm going to jam it, and then anticipating the break of 60. When it comes to 60, definitely going to pay myself, wait for the snap, and then if it comes back up and fails here again, then I'm going to add some more and jam it down to these support areas. We have support area at 59.50 as well as 59. 59 is actually pretty key, as you can see all this volume here at around 11:30, this 30-minute candle, right? Massive volume, huge support. The low is at 58.99. So this is major support for profit take. So the average shoe range is $1.93 on this ticker, and it's going to be one of my main watches. It fits my my go-to setup very well. So that's MTCH. Next up, we have BBBY. Now, BBBY, I missed this totally today. Once again, you don't see the candle coming in, but you know what? Let's see if I can log on real quick, see if the server came back up yet. Oh, perfect. We came back up. There it is. Let's go back to Match first. I want to show you guys this candle. So this is what happened today on Match, right? So very overextended. Now, BBBY. Now, this ticker, I missed it today. I was looking for a pop and drop at around the 18 area, but it never gave me a chance, and it just sold right off. Now, let's load up some drawings here real quick. Slow drawings, BBBY. Okay, so these drawings were made a couple of days ago, since they had the bad earnings catalyst, right? They had a massive sell-off, and then SSR turned on. It grinded up, and today I was anticipating the snap, but I just never get a chance to get in because I was looking for the 18 and it never reached. So kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Right now, the stock has closed under its earnings catalyst lows, okay? So if I zoom in here real quick, you'll see the 60.90 area here, okay? And zoom out, and the price is a little bit under 60.90. So prior support now becomes resistance. Because the stock closed so weak, I am expecting a gap down tomorrow. And if it does, then at the open, I'm looking for a pop back into this area, this shaded area here, and a drop, and I'll be shorting it from there. If it opens flat though, if in the pre-market it opens flat and chops around and starts holding this area, I'm going to wait at the open and wait for it to squeeze back up into the 1710, which is resistance 1, and 1720 area. We'll see what it does from here. Ideally, if it does open up on cover pop, then I want to be looking at the 1750s area first to be shorting this, but I don't know if it can come back up that much. The stock has an average true range of 80 cents. Now, BBBY is a swing idea, because today I was talking to one of the moderators at Trick Trades, right? He's very good at swinging. His name is Calvo, and he gave me some insight about when he takes swings and why he takes swings, why he would anticipate that a stock is a good swing entry. Now, I'm not going to disclose what he talked to me about here for free, because all the Trick Trades members paid hard-earned money to learn this kind of information. So if you want to learn how or why he thinks the way he does, you really need to understand he does work for a living. So got to pay up, right? But I'm going to share my idea here. I am looking for a swing short. I think well, for the past couple of days, BBBY, I've always thought that it's a piece of shit from the earnings, right? You can see. And the SSR is not on today. It sold off at like 5% or something. We are coming into some major daily support. Now, if this major daily support snaps at around the 1650 area, then we have a long ways to go down. And that's why I like the potential for the swing short. Ideally, I want to get in as close to the 1750 area as possible. 1750, you can see it failed here and retested today. Zoom in a little bit. Retested with some nice volume here and failed. Also around here, I'm not going to pay too much attention to this 1710. It did make a double top. I mean, today it based, ripped, couldn't hold the breakout, failed, tested, failed, tested, failed. So yeah, maybe 1710. We'll see. Anywhere from 1710. There's a 200 SMA as well on the 1 minute chart. And yeah, looking for swing short idea to hold until Friday, BBBY. Next up, Apple, AAPL. AAPL, let's load up some drawings. Now, the reason why I picked AAPL is because this daily chart setup looks exactly kind of like Lulu that I called yesterday. I was calling for Lulu to break out on yesterday, and Apple as well is the same type of setup. Okay, this fits right into trick trades. What he taught is called the line in the sand strategy. He has a DVD on it. So if you want to learn the strategy, then you can definitely check out the video link description below for a discount on his DVD. That's actually one of the cheaper DVDs out there. It's like $150. It's fantastic. I personally have it. Now, this setup fits that. Fits what he taught in the DVD. Okay, and I'm going to tell you that tomorrow there's a very high chance that Apple will squeeze and run. Probably retest this 200, and we'll have to see from there. The stock did close very high. Overall, you see the prior few days, we see a nice downtrend, and today it closed above this downtrend. So it's basically broke this downtrend. Now you also see this support area I've marked off, the 198 where it tested, very key area as a support. Actually, it's more of an area, the 197.80s to 198. Okay, so this is a main area of support I'm looking for. The stock today chopped around, but it's kind of like rounding up. So we'll see if people will take profits tomorrow and cause a dip to hold. Now we have support here at 198.50 as well. As you can see on the 30-minute chart, it made some nice support areas. So looking for a dip to get long. Now, if it gaps up tomorrow, if it pre-market starts grinding up, we'll have to see what it does around the 200 level, whether it's hold above or below the 200. Looking at this daily chart here, this 198 is very key, as I'll mark it off for you right now. 197.80s to 198. And you'll understand why I picked this level. Let me zoom in and see if I can get it closer. Right about there. Okay, so very close to the 90 MA. The stock closed pretty well above its yesterday's opening price, a little bit above. So I do like this for a bullish pattern. It looks like it wants 200 and perhaps beyond. Zooming out a little bit, I have the next resistance at 201 and then 201.50 as well. Target areas for me to pay myself, looking for a dip, catch it, and long it. Okay. And finally, we have Disney. Let's load up some drawings here. And after Disney, I'm going to talk about the recap on Disney today, how I bought it and why I bought it. Now, these lines were made yesterday, these 3 green lines, and today I added a few support and resistance areas. Now, Disney is on an uptrend from its news catalyst, okay, that it's coming out with a streaming service. Overall, looking on the daily chart, this is super overextended. Look at this. It's stupid, right? Disney is not a momentum stock. However, we did get a second day momentum day that came in. Now, overall, I think the catalyst of its new streaming service is pretty much well digested already by the investors. I think the stock is losing steam, being so overextended, overbought right now. So tomorrow we should be seeing a topping action, kind of getting into stage 3 of the market cycle, and then probably by Friday it'll start fading off. So tomorrow I'm looking for a topping action, and then try to get in some small shares to short, and then try to fade it till the end of the week. Bring it down to the key psychological level of 130 is also an inflection point. Okay, I'm not to say that the stock will not run some more, but it's very highly unlikely. As you can see, there's faded volume here today on the daily chart. So unless it comes out with more news catalysts, more upgrades tomorrow, I really think this thing will start pulling back a little bit and start fading. As you can see here, we are sitting at 132. I marked off the resistance, 52-week highs, 132.70. Looking for retest and fail from there. Let's see here. If it gaps up, for it closing so strong, definitely looking for a gap up and fail. If it gaps up above and over, I'm still looking for the pull right out of the gates from whoever bought today to take some profits. So if it gaps up and over, even better, because it makes the stock even more overextended. Now we have a major support area here at the 131, 131.20 area. So got to be careful of that. If it dips and starts holding, definitely a good chance to take a little bit long and ride it up to the 132.70s. Now you see this uptrend line here for the past couple of days. It's following this uptrend line. So if it fails tomorrow, this uptrend line pre-market with some volume, then I'm going to look for a cover pop and then short it. And we have all these levels of target areas that I will be pulling profits from. So 130, 129, and around the 128 area. So these are the places that I'll be looking to cover to pull some profits from. Okay. So Disney, let's get into my trade recap. Why did I buy Disney today? Like I said, in the beginning of this watch list, when I talked about Disney, I said Disney is not a momentum stock, but however, because of the news catalyst, because of the way it closed so strong yesterday, I was looking for a second day momentum run, and because of so much volume too, right? However, today, tomorrow, I don't think it's going to continue, but let's get into it. So zooming in, I took the trade. Let's take a look at pre-market real quick. Right about, okay, so this is pre-market, right? Pre-market, I had the 130.50 marked off as it came up, tested, failed, and then it started holding above it. So I had this level pegged. Last night, I also talked about the 130 as well on my watch list. So this was a very key support area. As you can see, this is like the inflection point, right? So I was basically watching pre-market and playing off this 30.50 to 130 area. Now we see the stock opening up right here. First minute, right here. First minute is this doji candle. As it opened, it well, on 9:29, I saw it failed and got bought right back up, right? And the volume started coming in, okay, on this candle. So that has confirmed my bullish thesis on it holding the 130.50. Reading the tape, I was watching a lot of buyers hitting the offer, hitting the ask side at the 131 as well. And then on the next candle, because it was so far, it opened at 131 right here. This is where it opened. And I waited for a few seconds to see if it holds, right? And eventually it did hold. I saw the buyers stepping in and holding this area, and I got long as at 131.07. I got long right here at the open. There was a lot of conviction for these buyers for it to break out, right? And then as it dipped and came back up a little bit, I got a little bit more and added into this momentum. And because of their buying conviction, I was reading the tape and seeing a lot of offers getting hit. They were hitting it all on the ask side above 131. So I wanted to hop in, and I basically got in. I actually hit it 3 times, and I rolled it up here to about 131.50. I paid myself a little and then held, and then the next candle shot up. I paid myself and took it all off at 131.95 basically. So I got in $1 on this move at the open, namely because I was reading the tape from the pre-market. There was a very nice level of support, and had it not worked, I would have took some off here if it failed the 130.50, and then I would have took the rest off if it failed 130 as well. So there was a plan going into it. The stock traded above VWAP as well as holding the 9 EMA. So I was actually sitting pretty good, jamming it at the open here and rolled it up. By the time it came down, I was trying to buy this dip, and it kind of like when it broke back up, when it came down here, I was trying to buy this dip. Okay, and I took a paper cut on it. Okay, it bounced off the VWAP. I was trying to buy the dip, and I took a paper cut right here as it failed, and then it failed some more. Eventually I saw this double bottom hold, and then I got in right around here at this 130.50s area, and I rolled it all the way back up to the VWAP here, and I took it off. So a small little trade right here. I don't know if I got it in here or if I got in here, but it was one of these two areas because I saw a double bottom. It was basically playing against the 130, and it made a higher low, right? So double bottom, higher low, A, B, C, D. So we have A, B, C, and then eventually D happened, but I never held it long enough for the D move. So from here, I paid myself, got out, and I was just watching it. And basically that was it. It got even higher, and yeah, that's it. So that's my recap on Disney. I was almost tempted to pull in my P&L, but to be quite honest, it doesn't really fucking matter. So I had 2 trades on today. I played long on Disney twice. I took some paper cuts trying to buy more momentum here, but it failed, so I just cut it. I traded LYFT a little bit, and I shorted it, and basically I was green on the day, and I called it off at around noon. Anyways, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. In the video description links, there's discounts to Trick Trades, his DVDs, my contact info if you have any questions. If you think I'm playing these stocks because the price is a little bit too expensive, I'll tell you, you're using the wrong broker. Use my broker. You'll have enough leverage to play, very safe, and no borrowing fees. And with trading these tickers, I mean, they're very predictable and a lot safer than the low float penny stocks, in my opinion. That's why I trade them. So if you do come into Trick Trades, then make sure you hit me up, say hi, and I'll introduce you to everybody. We here at Trick Trades, we make sure everybody trade well and learn in the process. So we don't let anybody fail unless they don't listen at all. Then nothing we can do about that. But we have a very good community of moderators, monster moderators, by the way, Kelvo Ant-Man, Moses, Tex. They're all killing it. Along with a lot of our members, they're improving on a daily basis, as we can see, and it's 24/7. This chat room, we're still talking here in the chat room. So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all bright and early tomorrow. Ciao.